Hey, what's up? It's Emilio DiSpirito, and this is the Wealth Architect Podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you each and every single week. My team and I have hand-selected our guests to come on the program to talk about how to build wealth financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, right? There's so much that goes into building a lifestyle full of wealth, and we hope that this content really reaches you, not only in your brain, but in your heart, and that you could do something with this. So thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you, and we're going to have a great show. Hey, a special thank you to our sponsor, Annie Mac Home Mortgage, whose Cash to Keys product is disrupting the industry. Sick and tired of finding the perfect home, not having your offer selected? I got to tell you, it happens all the time. With Cash to Keys, Annie Mac gives sellers a cash guarantee for each of their buyers' offers. Stop bidding and hoping. Instead, bid with Annie Mac and bid with confidence. Don't just bid, but win. Annie Mac Mortgage. Do you own a European or a Japanese car? Are you looking for a reliable, trustworthy, experienced place to take your car to get repaired? Look no further than our friends over at Elite Auto. They're not only going to welcome you with a smile into their ultra clean facility, they're also going to give you a rental and make sure that you are taken care of while your car is being repaired. They've got master technicians that know how to diagnose and fix any problem your car has. Elite Auto, building relationships for the road ahead. Hey, welcome to the Wealth Architect Podcast. I'm Emilio DiSpirito, and this is episode number 19. We've got an awesome guest here with us today, Pace Morby of Sub2. You're going to learn about subject to financing, how to purchase flip properties, how to deal with leases, and more or less solve problems that so few know how to do. He's going to teach you how to leverage this subject to financing as well. I know you're going to love this segment. He's all over the internet. We'll share some of his contact information. Make sure to give him a follow and a subscribe. You'll be happy you did. Pace, welcome to the Wealth Architect.
Emilio, your name sounds like it should be on a bottle of like very fancy liquor, or you could be the fourth musketeer, bro. Like when you say your name, you sound like a musketeer. Emilio DiSpirito.
Thank you.
Here to save the day.
That's right. Well, you know what's funny is I am the fourth and my son is the fifth. So I could be the fourth musketeer.
You are the fourth musketeer. Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it, brother. Guys, anybody that's listening right now, thank you for paying attention. I promise I'll give you guys at least one or two nuggets during this next 30, 40 minutes and something you can take away, give you guys some things to look into and figure out how you can make money by solving problems that other people just simply can't solve. Looking forward to it.
That's right. That's right. And so I found you through YouTube. Okay. And Pace, your content on there is fantastic. I've already been leveraging it. Okay. And just it helps to be thinking outside of the box, because in real estate, if you can solve bigger problems, you're going to make bigger paychecks and you're going to help more people. And I know you're all about it. So, man, let's just take it from the top, right? Why don't you give us a little bit of your background, who you are, what you're all about, what your claim to fame in the real estate industry is, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, cool. I was a contractor, grew up in a family of 12 kids. And when I was 30 years old, I had a client that was a home flipper. Her name is Bethany. Bethany came, tapped me on the shoulder. She said, "You're not a contractor." I said, why do you think I'm not a contractor? She says, "Because you show up on time, you communicate, and you actually hit budget. You are not a contractor. What the heck are you doing wasting your time as a contractor?" I said, "What should I be doing instead?" She says, "Let me show you how to get into real estate." And she essentially turned me into her bird dog. So she taught me how to go find deals off market. I have never had a real estate license. So for those of you guys listening, I'm not a licensed agent. No offense to those licensed agents. That's just not my jam. I love off market stuff. I'd say about 20% of my deals today come from real estate agent referrals and me solving problems that those real estate agents just simply can't solve, which I'll cover in here in a minute. And Bethany taught me how to go find deals. The way she taught me how to find deals was spend money on marketing with direct mail and getting postcards in people's homes that had a lot of equity and maybe had been there for 20, 30 years. I made a lot of money doing that. And then I realized that I wasn't solving a greater problem. I saw people that were going through expired listings. And I started really narrowing in on that. So what an expired listing is when a real estate agent goes and takes a seller and says, "Hey, let me sell your house." That agent cannot sell that house after 6 months of trying. And essentially that real estate agent gets fired. That's called an expired listing. I then call the seller and go, "Hey, I'm a buyer. I'm not an agent. I want to put an offer on your house today. Are you open to letting me take over your payments? And that's what I do. My claim to fame is taking over people's payments and letting them out of the situation that they're in. The opportunity here is like a blue ocean. It is so absolutely big because you have 2.5 million real estate agents. Less than 1% of them actually understand creative finance. And so the amount of expired listings that pop up every single day is insane. It's 15,000 real estate agents every day get fired across the country. So think
Wow.
about that. 75,000 real estate agents get fired in the United States every single week. That's 300,000 a month, which means 300,000 real estate agents got fired after 6 months of trying to sell a house. If I call that seller and go, I'm not a real estate agent, I'd like to take over payments or ask you to give me seller finance, there's a high likelihood in a month that out of 300,000 opportunities, I'm going to get free houses. Okay. And so that's what I do. I do it in single family, I do it in multifamily, RV parks, mobile home parks, and I do it in business buying as well. I call people that are having a hard time selling their house and I ask them, will you let me take over your payments? Now, how do I make money? A couple of different ways. I take over a house payment and I can either assign that to another buyer for $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 and give them the deal and I can just wholesale the deal. So the beautiful thing about what I do is I don't have to hold the property. I can just assign it, make an assignment fee, make a quick $25,000, no problem. Or I can hold it in my portfolio. Primarily what I'm doing now is I'm turning most of my houses into co-living, which is something that solves affordability. So I'm solving a problem for a seller who couldn't sell their house. I'm solving a problem for people who can't afford rent. So what we're doing is we're taking, the average 3-bed, 2-bath house, and we're converting the living room, the dining room, the garage, and maybe a storage room into extra bedrooms. And we're renting out each one of those bedrooms by the week. We are using a website. I do not own the website. We use a website called splityourpad.com, which allows you to put your house on their site. They bring weekly, monthly, quarterly tenants into your property. And the average 3-bed, 2-bath house can bring in $8,000, $9,000 a month stabilized.
Wow.
Doesn't matter what the economy is doing. Doesn't matter what is happening in Airbnb. It is a stabilized asset and it solves affordable housing. Last thing I'll say before I shut my mouth. The people that are renting these rooms for me are getting a room, access to the kitchen, access to a bathroom in the house. They are getting utilities, taxes, insurance, cleaning, landscape, and if there's a pool, pool maintenance, all included for about $850 to $950 per month. We are bringing affordable rent to the marketplace, meanwhile making a ton of money by solving a problem that a real estate agent probably didn't solve or got fired over.
Wow.
That is a very clean way of how I make money. Find a problem that a seller can't sell, take over their existing payments without a bank, without a credit check, without any of my own money. I then go and put that house into, let's say, wholesale, make 25 grand on it, or I decide it's a house I want. I rent it out by the room and I make cash flow.
Wow, that's pretty amazing business plan you got there, Pace. Let's unpack that. That's quite a bit to unpack, and I appreciate that explanation. First off, when you say you're going to take over the seller's payments, how, do you work it out with their financial institution where they start billing you and now is your credit on the line? Or is that old owner depending on you to make those payments? And if so, how do you establish that kind of a trust?
What a great question. So no,
Thank
I
you.
will never ask a bank for their permission. That would be called a loan assumption. And I don't do a loan assumption because those loan assumptions take an average of 3 to 9 months to do a loan assumption.
Wow.
Most of these sellers don't want to go through that time frame.
Correct.
You guys will find in your maybe in your comments or some of your other listeners that are loan officers like, yep, these loan assumptions are a nightmare. Nobody wants to go through a loan assumption, and I don't want to go through a loan assumption because it does require me to go through and assume that loan. Now, the only people that benefit from a loan assumption are the loan officers that are reestablishing new lending fees and all sorts of closing fees and underwriting and processing fees. I avoid all of that crap. And I go to a title company. This is what we do. I go to the seller and I get a contract, right? It's a purchase and sale agreement, standard contract in every state.
Yep.
I then add subject to addendum stating, here's the disclosures. I am taking over your mortgage payments. I am not getting permission from your bank. The Supreme Court has deemed this legal since 1995. There are multiple cases that have gone all the way to the Supreme Court, loan officers and big corporations saying, that's not right. You can't do this. Well, guess what? The Supreme Court says otherwise. The highest law in the land has deemed sub 2 legal in all 50 states. And that's why thousands of transactions happen every single month. So By the way, if you guys want that Supreme Court case, DM me on Instagram. I'll give you guys the link to the Supreme Court case. You can read all about it. Also, the IRS shows you how to do sub-2 deals on your taxes. Fannie Freddie shows you how to fill out the paperwork for subject to. Every single state in the United States shows you in their state standard real estate agent forms how to do sub-2 legally. So sub-2 is legal in all 50 states plus Puerto Rico. So I go to the seller, I use the contracts that I'm supposed to, I disclose that their credit will be impacted if I die, get abducted by an alien, or just simply stop making those payments. But remember, I'm not going directly to a seller that has no problems. I'm going to sellers who are either in foreclosure, they inherited the property they can't afford, they can't sell the house. I'm going to people who have a pain point, and I have the ointment. I'm not going to apply ointment to somebody who doesn't have pain. So when I go to somebody and people say, well, how do you build the rapport and the trust to do that? I'm like, guys, I have the ointment that solves their problem.
Yeah.
It's a 2-minute conversation saying, hey, how would you like me to relieve the pain that you have of a payment you don't want to make anymore? These people are not real estate investors. So they go, really? You'll take over my payments? That's amazing. Where do I sign? So they sign contract. We go to a title company, or depending on the state, we go to a closing attorney. The company we use is called Creative Title. If you guys want to use the title company I use, it's getcreativetitle.com is the name of the website.
Awesome.
I do not get paid to promote that. That's just the company I use. Get Creative Title. They do all these transactions in 43 states, not including North and South Dakota, stuff like that. So the title company simply does one thing. Sub-2 transactions are the easiest transactions on the planet. Why? Because there's no appraisal involved. There's no loan officer, no loan processor. There's no inspector involved. Literally 7 people that are involved in a traditional real estate transaction that slow those transactions down are not involved. It's literally me, the seller, and the title company will take the deed, and the seller signs the deed over to my name. I now own the property, and I start making payments to the servicing company. I do not make payments to the seller's bank. I do not make payments to the seller. I go to a servicing company. The company I use is a company called Evergreen Note Servicing. You guys can look them up. Again, I don't get paid for that. I'm just telling you my resources. I pay Evergreen Note Servicing. Evergreen then makes the payment on my behalf. So I don't have to log into the seller's account. I don't have to look at their accounts. It is the easiest transaction on the planet. I did not have to pull a credit report. I did not have to show W-2. I did not have to show proof of income. I didn't even have to show my bank balance when I buy these houses. The house I'm in right now, literally 11,000 square foot house. I bought it, took over a 2.9% rate on this big, massive house. I had no money in my account that day because I was buying other deals. No money in my account that day. And I'm sitting there signing on this big $3 million sub-2 deal. I'm like, isn't it crazy? I'm taking over a rate of 2.9% from Zion's Bank, and nobody cares that I don't have a dollar in my bank account. It's the craziest thing.
Wow. America. That is fantastic. How about this? How about, I'm so fascinated by this, right? Because I also do a lot of off-market deals, so I understand the psychology behind what you're doing. I haven't done any subject to yet, but can I give you a real world problem that I have with a client? Because I know that you do a ton of case studies. You have like 400 videos of case studies. And again, guys, I'm talking with Pace Morby of Sub2. Check him out. Make sure you subscribe. Great content there. Awesome thought leader in the space. So Pace, my client owns 3 properties in Puerto Rico. For the past month, I have been trying to find a real estate agent down there that can handle these properties, get them sold, communicate in a timely manner with us, and get him the price he wants, and also advertise to people in the United States, because he feels, and I feel, his buyer's going to come from the US, right? They have the, what is that Act 60 or Act 63 down there? So, all right. But without getting sidetracked on that, we are having such a hard time selling those properties and even finding an agent to handle that. Do you have buyers?
I got the solution, 100% solution right now in 10 seconds. Go to the attorneys that set up people's Prop Act or their Act 60. Go to the attorneys that are setting up the Act 60 for people. Because what happens when you move to Puerto Rico, you have to hire a tax accountant to do all that paperwork for you. It's too complicated.
Okay.
They are representing hundreds of clients that are looking for housing in Puerto Rico. They're the best real estate agent for you. Don't call a real estate agent, call the tax advisors who have the clients that are already saying, I need to get set up and I need to start looking for real estate.
Wow.
I'll connect you with one of the best people in all of Puerto Rico that represents all of my friends that moved down there. that tax advisor could say, hey, I actually have one of 3 houses you could take a look at. The seller is willing to do seller finance to get the number that he wants. You could come down here and move into one of these houses in Puerto Rico, get all these beautiful tax benefits of Prop or Act 60. I'll do the paperwork for you. And you can move into a house with no money down or maybe a little bit of money down and get your client those houses sold. Pretty simple.
Wow. Pace, that is so sick. My client has been battling with this for probably a year, maybe or so. Contacted me off of a referral. I said, I'm going to figure out a way to get this done. And look at this. This interview right here, I think, is going to get it done for him.
Yeah. When anybody ever asks, like, why do people like me or you do podcasts? I can tell you guys right now, it's the best thing ever to be able to interview other people in the space because you can solve problems by just 1, you're interviewing people. 2, you're getting to know people. And then 3, you become friends. You go, hey, I'll give you my resources, whatever you need, let me know.
Yeah, you're building your network, and that's where it's all at, right? And you said a couple of things. Number one, I can tell you're a network guy. You're over here plugging different businesses, right, that are paying you nothing. You're out there selling for other businesses, and I think that is such a key trait in successful entrepreneurs is realizing if everyone around you that's also working with you is eating too, regardless of your benefit, there's benefit for everybody there, and you're all going to continue to grow. So I love
it's
that
pretty cool.
mindset.
Like these companies that don't pay me, there's a couple of things I do. 1, I want to show the audience that I'm credible, that I actually am giving you more than just a bunch of hype words.
Yeah.
What I do is I watch other people on podcasts and go, yeah, I do this, I do this. I'm like, but who are you using and where are these companies and why are you gatekeeping? So 1, I want to be known as not a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
I spent 12 years of my life finding these resources, going through the bad resources to find the good ones. I'm happy to give away. But where it benefits me beyond showing that I'm credible is that I go to companies like them and I go, when I want to get sponsored for something, like I have this big 100-day road trip coming up where we're going to go help 50 families, 1 per state. So 50 states, 50 families. We're going to help those families get off the street. And I will ask my sponsors, I'll go, hey, I need 20 grand for a driver. I need 20 grand for gas. I need 20 grand for hotels. I'll go to the companies that I'm promoting all the time and go, look, you don't have to pay me to promote, but when I need help to go do some cool mission that we go help families off the street, I want you to buy in on this deal. And so it does benefit me for those of you guys that are out there going, he's not doing it for free.
I love
You're
that.
right. I don't know when I'll need a favor, but I do want to build my friends' businesses so that at some point when I do need a favor, I can call them with confidence, knowing I've benefited them before I asked for anything in return.
Wow. Well, Pace, when you come into Rhode Island, if there's anything I can do and or help or donate towards that cause, I'd be more than happy to. Me and the team at the Wealth Architect.
I appreciate that. Here's what we're doing, just real quick for your audience. I am not just going to give things to people. Recently, in April, I got an email from a homeless lady. Her name's Maddie. And Maddie sends me this email and she says, hey, I've been watching you on YouTube. You do all this creative finance stuff. You get free homes. You built this big portfolio. You've got 16,000 members of your community nationwide. But I'm just a 4'11" black lady who's 59 years old, and I have no money, no experience. My husband died, and I have no ability to make income, and I'm living in a shared housing house with no ability to pay my bills.
Wow.
Will you help me? And I go, I will help you, but I'm not going to give you a fish. I'm going to teach you how to fish.
Love it.
So over the last couple of months, I helped this lady through, I gave her education. She then took the action. She got her first real estate deal. She made $5,000. She then, non-licensed, by the way, with no money out of, guys, this is a homeless lady.
It's game changing.
Open room on a cot.
Yeah.
She has no bank account. She has a broken Nokia phone that's 7 years old. That lady got a deal. Okay. Then her second deal just happened last week where she bought a sub-2 deal herself. She's moving into her first home she'll ever own at 59. Guys, literally, she's currently living on a cot right now. Close of escrow on this house she just bought is August 14th. She will move into her very first home.
Wow.
7 residences or 7 tenants will pay all the bills and she will live for the rest of her life for free. This is less than 90 days after meeting me. So I want to go on this tour to do the same thing with 50 families. I'm going to show families in one day, like in Rhode Island. I'll find a family. Preemptively, we'll find a family and we will spend 4 hours with them and I will show them start to finish. And by the end of 4 hours, I have to have a house under contract, funded for that family to move into that they'll never have to pay the bills for. Otherwise, I cannot go to the next state and move on the next family.
Wow.
So I need no money other than like, I already have my sponsors. They're taking care of the gas. They're taking care of the, CDL driver, the bus cost, all of those types of things in the video crew, but nothing else costs money. I'm not buying these houses. I'm showing homeless people how to negotiate the same way I do and show them, doesn't matter if you're homeless, doesn't matter if you were uneducated about real estate 4 hours ago, I will show you how to get a free house. I think that's the flex. Like the flex is like most people think, oh, I have to start from scratch and I have to go to real estate school. Look, I respect real estate agents. I bought 4 deals last week from a really kick-ass real estate agent. I love them. But a lot of people looking at real estate, they look at it like it's a Mount Everest. Like I can't even get to base camp and it must be expensive and it's going to be really hard. The reality is, guys, creative finance, which is what I focus on, has been around for hundreds of years. Okay. Walmart uses it. Home Depot uses it. Ulta, Sephora, they are all use creative finance. It's not just a real estate thing. It is a standard business practice for people that are operating at a high level. I just have a unique ability to dumb it down to the everyday person to go, I just found out about this guy Pace, and in 4 hours, I've got my first deal. What the heck just happened with my life?
Nice, concise language. I love that. Even your description for the podcast, we ask our our guests to send over a description, and people normally send over like pages, right? And our job is to condense it down and share with our audience rather quickly, especially if you want to hook somebody in to listen. And yours was 2-3 sentences max. And I got a full glimpse of what you do. And I think that's
if you can't explain it to a third grader, then you don't know it well enough, right? We've all heard that before.
So it's true.
It's really fun. I appreciate you allowing me to share this because I think what's going on right now is everybody's stressed out about like what the Fed is doing. Oh my gosh, Jerome Powell, he's not lowering rates. Guys, who cares?
Yeah.
I could literally right now, if we're on Riverside, I could pull up right now 500 houses right now under 3% interest that you could literally you don't even have to call the seller, negotiate the deal. You could literally, there's a website called creativelisting.com. Okay. So check this out. If I can share my screen, I'll show this to you.
Yeah, really I think simple. You can.
If you are a listener and you're like, I don't want to have to negotiate, worry about the paperwork, I don't want to have to do any of those things. Watch how simple this is, okay? I'm going to go to a website called Creative Listing. I'll share it in just a second, creativelisting.com.
Okay.
And when you go to Creative Listing, it's completely free. There's nothing to buy other than looking at houses that you could buy on Creative Finance. So creativelisting.com. Okay, cool. Let me share my screen so I can kind of peruse and show you guys this. The game is so easy at this point, okay? The game is just so easy. It is almost impossible to fail. So check this out. So Creative Listing, really basic website, off-market, sub-2, seller finance, no banks, no agents, and no red tape. You see all these blue and green dots?
Yeah.
These are blue and green dots of people that want a home. Okay. So if you guys go on Creative Listing, you go down to this little button right here that says, I'm looking to buy.
Okay.
Now, what this I'm looking to buy button does is it puts your name on this map, right? So here's somebody in Reno saying, hey, my name is Ramy. I'm looking for a primary home in Reno. If I'm somebody that knows how to find deals, I simply go on this website and I go, oh, cool. Ramy's looking for a primary home in Reno. I reach out to Ramy and go, hey, what are you looking for? I will find it for you and I'll bring it to you. You pay me a $5,000 or a $10,000 fee and I'll get you a house at 3% interest, 2% interest, sometimes 0% interest.
Wow.
No bank, no credit check. I'll hook you up. So if you guys are out there going, this sounds too easy. It is. Good things are easy. And I remember, check this out. This is a Stanley Cup, right? Check this out.
Yeah.
Somebody says to me when I first started explaining creative finance about 10 years ago, people said, that sounds too good to be true. I'm like, if I took this Stanley Cup and I showed it to somebody from 100 years ago, they also would say, this sounds too good to be true. A cup that keeps your ice cool for 3 days? Not possible. Okay, well, what about a Tesla or electric vehicle, or heck, even a freaking toothbrush 100 years ago was too good to be true.
True.
Guys, good things just happen in life, okay? We just get accustomed to it. What you really are saying is it's not too good to be true. Just go, wow, this is new to me, and I'm excited that I'm learning something new. This is insane. So creative finance is so powerful, and it's so prevalent that you can just go to websites like Creative Listing and just buy a house today on creative finance, an investment property, or a primary home. It doesn't matter. I think Creative Listing, they told me like 6 months ago, they said they'll have businesses on there to buy on creative finance. They'll have RV parks, mobile home parks, multifamily properties, all where the sellers will literally let you take over their payments.
Wow.
It is that simple. There's another really good one that I would love to show you guys as well. This one, I do not own this company, but it's a really big, well-known company that a lot of people just don't know this quick little trick to use. So if you go to a website called Crexy.com.
Oh, I know
Okay,
Crexy.
Crexy is, yeah, you know, a lot of people know Crexy.
Great website.
If I go to my search bar and I just go to owner finance, I type in owner finance, look at all these businesses. You got shopping centers, hotels, motels, businesses, gas stations, RV parks, car washes, right? All of these things nationwide. There's like 62,000 amazing opportunities. RV parks, which I love. My favorite asset class is RV parks.
Really?
I can just go on here. All of these sellers are saying take over payments, or I'll let you buy on seller finance, because they want to get the number that they want. It's as simple as that.
And ultimately, that big number really doesn't mean anything because it's all about the monthly cash flow.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I told this joke a couple of weeks ago on stage. I said, how many people would jump out of an airplane for $100,000 without a parachute? Everybody's like, no, what are you talking? Why would we do that? I'm like, okay, how many of you guys would buy a house that's worth $70,000, but you would pay $80,000 for it? And they're like, nobody. Why would we do that? I'm like, okay, let's go back to the airplane. What if I told you that the airplane was a little two-seater and it never left the tarmac? It was still on the tarmac, and all you had to do is step out of the airplane without the parachute. Would you now do that for 100,000? People are like, oh, of course I would. I'm like, okay, so context is important, right? So same thing with the house. What if I told you that $70,000 house that you could rent for, let's say $700 a month or $1,000 a month, the seller would let you pay them $200 a month for that $80,000 purchase price? All of a sudden, the purchase price doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Right. So the overpaying a little bit on the property is really not that important. And people need to understand it's about the ability to cash flow on day one and the long-term ability for that property to go up in value over time. So, you know, I bought an RV park for $5 million, no money down, in Montana. Thing makes $22,000 a month. The seller just wanted to retire and he didn't want to pay capital gains tax. That's another reason why sellers will sell to you on seller finance, because they can avoid a lot of the taxes. And I make 22 grand a month on one park that I took over payments on, but the seller wanted 300 grand more than the market would bear for a cash price. So I said, I'll give you that 300 grand. You just got to take payments for it. It's so simple.
All right. It is. It's amazing. So if he owns that outright, are you finding that they're doing interest only payments, or are they doing principal and interest? Or
yeah, that one is it's a 30-year loan that the seller gave me. So Eric is the seller. He owned that park free and clear. So he did a seller finance deal. What wasn't sub 2. Sub 2 is when I take over the payments on an existing loan, right? So this was a seller finance deal.
Okay.
Eric wants to retire. He listed it for 5. He couldn't sell it for 4.7. He was getting offers at 4.6, and he kept lowering his price. I came along and I said, hey, I see your price history. Looks like you wanted originally 5 million. I'll give you 5 million. I'll give you what you want. I'll let you win on what you want, which is purchase price. But what I want to win on is the low or no down payment and low or no interest. And he says, I'll do no down payment, but I need interest. And so we did a 4% amortized loan, which means principal and interest, 4%.
Where are you finding that? I mean, I know where you're finding it, but that's
I literally go to Crexy.com. I call people that say they're open to owner finance, and I buy RV parks. I just closed on 2 in Big Spring, Texas. I'm buying I'll probably buy 40 car washes in the next 3 years.
I love car washes. Yeah.
Yeah. Employee less, almost brand new car washes. I've got a guy that is building them, and then right behind me, he's coming around and selling them to me on seller finance. I'm like, why would you do that? And he's like, yeah, because I have the financing lined up. So what he's doing is he's going and building car washes. He's getting full financing on these car washes. He's all in for like 2.5 million. He turns around and sells them to me on seller finance for 3 million. So he's got like $2,000-$3,000 a month coming in on payments, and I'm just picking up everything that he's building. So I'll buy 30 to 40 car washes in the next couple of years.
Wow. And so now, are they taking loans out against the business or against the asset? And to talk about that for a second, because people are probably like, well, why would sellers want to do this?
Okay, so sellers would want to, well, first and foremost, 500,000 reasons why. He made $500,000 not having to operate the asset. So there's 500,000
passive
reasons
income
why he's doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So people are, why would he do that? He's in a different mode of life, right? Usually these sellers that are willing to do seller finance and sell to you and let you take over payments, they're at their 60s or their 70s or their 80s, And they're like, we don't want to be the young whippersnapper building our portfolio. We've already built our wealth. We want to be the bank. You guys got to understand the most important person in all of the real estate transaction is the bank.
That's right.
The person that does the least amount of work and makes the most amount of money is the bank, not the operator. And so many people are like, why would somebody give you the operator position? Because there's more work in what I have to do as the operator than the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, the bank doesn't ever go to the house. They don't ever see the house that they're lending on. You want to be the bank when you retire because you own nothing, but you receive income on everything passively. So a lot of my sellers what I do is I call them up and I go, I want to upgrade you from being the landlord to the lender. And then what does that mean? I go, well, right now you're dealing with toilets, tenants, and trash.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want you to deal with interest. So why don't you let me take over the operation? I'll pay you a portion of it on interest and you become the lender and you just rake in the money and you don't have to pay capital gains tax. So number one, they make money up front, like this car wash guy. Here's what he's doing. He started out by getting an SBA loan on his first car wash. He brought in some private money lenders for the remaining balance. He's all into this car wash, $2.5 million, no money out of his own pocket. He then turns around and sells the car wash to me for $500,000.
Yeah.
So how does he make money? If I'm not giving him the $500,000 up front, well, he's selling me that car wash. I take over the existing SBA loan. I take over his private money lenders. I make payments to them from the cash flow. Then I make a payment to him on the $500,000. And so over time, he gets not only the $500,000, but he gets 4% interest on top of $500,000 that he literally just fabricated out of thin air. The guy just added $500,000. Tell me that guy's not smarter than me. He actually is, at the end of the day, smarter than me. So of course I benefit from it, buying and operating these car washes and doing the bookkeeping and collecting the money and dealing with the maintenance and dealing with the state and the water delays or the water issues or the, chemical problems or some rude customer saying your car wash sucks and leaving a bad review. He doesn't have to deal with any of that stuff. He literally just collects a payment every single month for $4,000 a month. He's happy. He goes and does another one. He does, let's say he does 30 of these at $4,000 a month. Homeboy's making $120,000 a month in passive income, and he doesn't have to operate one car wash. The better question is, why are you not doing that yet, Pace? Well, because I got to go through my phase, right? I got to go through accumulation stage. I got to accumulate wealth before I can start doing those types of things of becoming the bank.
Makes sense. So they're not paying any capital gains on anything. They're holding the note and they're making money off of it. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. So he'll make $500,000 plus interest and avoid capital gains.
Have you ever heard of this gentleman here? Hold on, I'm going to grab his book. You know this guy? Mitch Stephen?
Yeah, I know Mitch. I know Mitch really well. He kills hogs out of helicopters. He's kind of a badass.
So I didn't know that about Mitch, but yeah, so we've actually interviewed him on the show as well too.
Mitch is a good friend, really smart guy. He's mostly out of Texas. He focuses all of his real estate in Texas. Really smart guy.
Yeah. But I mean, I find, what you're doing pretty unique, even from him. You've got a whole different take on it. And I just
the thing about creative finance is that there are so many ways to make money. Like when you're in the on market space, this is the problem with like people that listen to like Only Bigger Pockets.
Yeah.
Is that people are convinced that they have to go get bank loans to buy houses. This is the interesting thing. It's like the other day I'm hanging out with this homeless lady that just moved into her house and I go, let's go celebrate. Let's go have Korean food. She's 59 years old. Okay. Mm-hmm. She's 59 years old and she goes, Korean food? What is Korean food? I'm like, you're 59, Maddie. Have you never had Korean food before? She's like, that's not the world I come from. I eat the things that I eat. That's weird. I'm like, you've never had kimchi. You've never had Korean barbecue. Like what the heck? And it's weird to me. But then I look back in my history and I lived in Korea for a couple of years. My wife loves Korean food. We eat Korean food twice a week. Like that's our normal, right? Yeah. The problem is people, when they hear about my story or Mitch Stevens, who's a legit guy, I love Mitch, they look at that like Maddie looks at Korean food. They just haven't been interfaced with it. And so it seems weird, but the reality is Mitch kind of does like Thai food. I do Korean food and other creative investors do like Mongolian. Like it's all Asian and foreign to people, but it's entire business practices that are massive, like untapped markets that are unlimited. Like I have almost 17,000 members in my community, and we did $10 billion in transactions in 2024, and we barely
Wow.
touched the surface of the possibilities. There's so many opportunities. So
How does
it's
one join your community? How do you get into that? Is there a fee?
I
Is
would
there a
I wouldn't even spend your time necessarily on that. I mean, maybe you have a link for it, you can put it down there, but I would just go to my YouTube channel. And what I would do if I was watching this podcast is go watch me actually do the business live on YouTube.
okay.
I love practicing on YouTube and calling real sellers and real agents and negotiating these deals. So if you're somebody that's like, hey, I would like to know more, I would go to YouTube and like check out if I actually know what the heck I'm talking about. Mitch is also another really good what do you remember what episode that was for your interview? Because I bet you Mitch killed that episode.
With Mitch, I think it was episode 2 or 3. It was
Yeah,
one
Mitch
of our,
Stevens,
yeah.
super smart guy, funny as hell. And also he would never say this on a podcast, but he does have a helicopter and he goes and takes people wild boar hunting with 50 cows out of his helicopter.
Wow.
He's
Badass.
kind of a badass. So
Yeah.
Mitch Stevens, I'd go listen to that episode as well, guys.
Wow. It's amazing. So if they want to follow you, they can just type in Pace Morby, sub 2, and all of your information will come up. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube, follow him on Instagram. We'll put some links in our content as well. Pace, it's been great to meet you. I'm glad we made the connection, and good luck on your road trip, helping 50 families in 50 states to find affordable housing and to achieve the goal of home ownership. I think is absolutely the number one American dream out there. So thanks for doing that. Really great.
Of
and thanks
course.
for being
And by
here.
the way, shoot me a text message. Let's get your Puerto Rican client taken care of. I'll connect you directly with an attorney that can help out.
I will. I think my team has your number, I would imagine.
Yeah, have them text us. I'll tell Brittany to text us together.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Sounds good, man. Nice to see you, Pace. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Do you live in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, and you're thinking about moving? Well, the worst thing you can do is ask your friends to come help you, because then guess what? You owe them a favor. Never mind, you're going to be spending a ton of money on beer and pizza, and stuff is going to get broken. It sucks. Call our friends G-Mets Moving and Storage. They're going to be able to move you, especially in this marketplace, but they can actually ship your stuff around the world and move you with their crew of dedicated professionals anywhere in the United States. Go ahead and Google G-Mets Moving and Storage, and they'll help you out today. Episode 19 of The Wealth Architect. I'm Emilio DiSpirito. And, it's been heavy on my heart, and I need to talk with the real estate agents out there in our community, the ones that are listening or the ones that might be tuning in, the ones that are banging their heads against the wall and not making sales right now. It's 2025. And nearly 71% of real estate agents have not sold one home year to date, which is pretty unbelievable, right? Like I feel like that's actually hard. It's hard to not sell homes if you're doing this full time, right? So I would say this, right? If you are working really hard and you're in real estate and you're full time, I promise you results are going to come. It's one of those things. And it's the same for anybody starting a business. When you're starting a business, it feels like you're never going to climb to the top of that mountain. And it's just task after task, bill after bill that you're paying. And you're just being, your bills are late, your car payment might be late, you might be getting the repo payment in the mail, maybe the eviction notice on the door. I've been there, I've been through all of that. So I'm hoping that what I can share with you here right now is going to give you some words of encouragement and also some ideas on how to scale your business in real estate, right? This is not only for realtors that have started in the business, but there's practical advice here that I think any type of entrepreneur who deals with people on a day-to-day basis could really take from this and put into practice. Okay. So number one, the most important thing is if you are somebody that can't take rejection, you need to work on that right away, right? Because rejection sucks. We all don't like it, but that's the number one reason why people fail in this business, in real estate, is because you're afraid of getting no. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of being told you're not good enough, okay? A lot of times when people say no, it's just that they have lack of information that they need to make the decision, which ultimately they would like to get to. And that is an opportunity. So when you find opportunities and no, that's going to be a game changer for you. So get in the mindset that a no might be not right now, or I don't have enough information. That's number one. Number two, start keeping track of the no's that you get, because it's statistically proven for every 97 no's, you're going to get 3 yeses. Get used to celebrating the no's because they're bringing you closer to a yes. Now, you are broke, and let's just say you're broke, or you are just trying to make ends meet, having a hard time, and you don't have money to buy Zillow leads, or you don't have money to be purchasing all of this fancy marketing and whatever else that people do out there, right? You don't need to, right? Your business should be coming from referral sources. Okay. So I'm going to give you the 5 key referral sources that you need as a real estate agent in the business to get listings, right? This business is all about listings. If you want to get listings, listings are going to bring more listings and more buyers, okay? And before I get into this and who to work with to get these listings, I want you to understand why listings are so important, okay? The gentleman, Gary Keller, who founded Keller Williams, he's famous for saying, listings are, well, what the hell did he say? Listings are leverage, or list to last, right? Yeah, he even wrote a book, List to Last, right? And it's so true. The agents that make it in real estate list a lot of properties because listings are our product, right? We're really here providing a service. And if we don't have any product, we don't have anything to sell. While our listings are there in the marketplace, all of the other realtors are working to buy those listings with their clients, to buy those listings, while it allows you to go out and get more and or work with buyers. So that's super important. Okay. So here's the deal. Here are the professionals that you need to speak with if you are looking to grow your real estate listing business. Okay. Number one, an estate attorney. Estate attorneys help people through death. They help people, families, sell the asset mainly, which is going to be a home. Okay, they need a real estate agent that's going to help that family through that process. And there's a lot going on with that process. So you want to educate yourself, maybe watch some YouTube videos, check out some blogs, or consult with an estate attorney and say, hey, listen, I'd love to do some estate work. How do I do that? Link up with an estate attorney. That's going to be one of your most powerful people, okay, as far as a referral source. The next one, a divorce attorney. Okay. It is sad, but divorce, unfortunately, is heavy here in the United States. And these people are going through such a hard time, such a rough life circumstance. And what you need to do is you need to align with a divorce attorney, or a couple even, and you need to be the advocate for each spouse as they're going through this, a neutral party that's going to get them to the closing table. That in itself is a massive amount of business out there, and can really, really do a nice job of feeding you listings while you are helping people through a very rough time. The other one you could talk with is a CPA, right? Like, I like working with professionals that help people with their money, because a CPA is going to, give people tax advice. They're gonna understand what assets people own, and they're probably one of the first professionals that a homeowner or somebody with investment properties is talking with, that can give that person guidance on who to use and make a recommendation. So you want to be top of their recommendations. The other professional that you're going to want to work with is a financial advisor. Okay. So financial advisors, again, they help people with their money. You want to be networking with financial advisors that have a huge book of business. They call it assets under management, and somebody that has a lot of assets under management is somebody that can definitely refer you some really great business. Now, outside of that, I think home builders would be fantastic as well, because guess what? They're building the supply. All right. So working with home builders is a unique niche in the industry. You're going to want to understand, what type of financing they might need, what type of if you have different connections with materials, if you have different connections through financing, if you know where to find the land that might be off market, or if you can just do something to speak to them to help them out. With builders, usually if you find the land or find the area where they can develop, guess what happens? They're going to give you the listing. When you have that listing, you're attracting other people, depending on the price range, that might have to sell and also buy at the same time. So now you've turned that one transaction into three, actually four, if they use you on that end. So it's pretty wild. You can definitely grow your business, and it doesn't have to be so hard. It can be as simple as that. One of the game changers for me in my real estate career has been joining BNI, Business Networking International. Every single week on a Friday, I get to meet with 30 to 40 business professionals, and we get to share different insights about our business and learn what each other does. So, a couple of good things come of that. Number one, all of those 30 to 40 people now get to become we get to mentor each other in any type of business challenge, but we're all each other's sales team as well. Listening for opportunities out in the marketplace, listening to opportunities with our friends and our family. And if the average person, right, if the average person talks with and knows roughly what, like 1,200 people or so, you're looking at 36,000 people that you are actually getting in front of and speaking to every day. That's how I look at it. It's a game changer. So if you can be in a referral type of network as well, again, real estate or any type of business, you're going to do really well. The other thing I got to tell you is you want to have a referral list of services. I've won more business because of this than really anything else. So every time I meet with potential clients or I hear anybody struggling in any area of their life, whether it's they need a great car repair shop, or they're down and out, they want to lose weight, or they lost a job, they want to get a job doing this or that, I am going through my referral list of services and I'm circling any names on there that may be able to help them out. I'm making that connection, making that referral, regardless if it does me any good or not. The more you give, the more you're going to get. And I really, truly hope to hear some success stories about your business. There's an abundance out there. It's ready for you to go get it. You just have to take the action and make it happen. Thanks so much for tuning in. Leave some comments if you found this helpful, and God bless you, and see you on the next Wealth Architect.